think this season was a good step in the right direction. Over the last few years, we've been moving in the right direction, just accomplishing small milestones over each year. What we're able to do this year was have an undefeated conference schedule. We were top 10 in the nation this year, and we set a record for most wins in program history with 19. So it's just been neat to see just the quality of players increasing every year, but also just moving closer in that championship direction.
As captains and coaches, we decided to add or incorporate pods into our team where it's a select group of guys will meet once a week, and that actually developed a lot of friendships and new relationships. It also forces guys to talk more. So that was a great way to get guys more enthusiastic to come to the rink and be around everyone, and it kept a very positive atmosphere for everybody, so that was great.
We started out pretty strong our first semester. We went, besides our first pre-season tournament, we went undefeated. And then we kind of carried that into our next semester. We lost a couple, but we remained undefeated in conference play. And then we were ranked the highest in program history at 7. Going into nationals, we knew we had a tough pool. Everyone in AAU and around was saying that we had the pool of death. We had us, South Carolina, and Alabama, and all three of us were pretty strong programs. Alabama ended up coming out with a tiebreaker when we knocked out South Carolina. But I think what that demonstrated for us is that we have the capacity to play at the top level. We have a little more work to do in just being consistent and being able to do that, but I think it also opened our players' eyes of just the higher level that AAU is, and is going to allow us to just compete at that level next year. So I think the guys are excited. I think they're ready for a break, but just having that energy of knowing that we're a top 10 team, and we start off next season with a bang with South Carolina, so it's going to be a good way to open our season next year.
Overall, we did a good job in the fact that we didn't give up in any of the games. We stayed committed to what we talked about before we left. We also proved that we deserve to be a top 10 team, and we also know what it takes to be a top 10 team and how to stay there. It's definitely, we're going to have a learning curve next year, knowing what the potential top 15 could look like, so that would be great for next year.
We've really emphasized our team culture. One of my big goals coming in when I took over the team 3 years ago was to create a championship culture, and there's kind of an idea that it takes 3 years if the team cooperates, 5 years if it takes a little bit longer, and I think we're pretty much on schedule. We've seen some major changes in our team culture, just how we approach the game, how we approach practice, how we treat each other, and so it's good to see that the guys are buying into that. And I think the group of guys that we had this year was the closest group of players that I've had. There were a lot of tight friendships. Everybody was hanging out with everybody, a lot of support, which was really encouraging to see. And I'm really excited about the group of guys that we have coming in next year. I think that they're going to allow us to just continue to move forward in the right direction, and I'm excited for the freshmen that will be coming in. We've identified some guys, and they're just going to add to our culture, so it's just going to help us spring forward even further next year as a team.